Had to go do something. Anyways. Hello everyone, this is Brady, and welcome back to our Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 video, Electric Boogaloo. Well, it's not really a Garden Warfare video, it's more or less a let's talk about a Garden Warfare YouTuber, but in this case, two Garden Warfare YouTubers. Well, if you can even call the second one a Garden Warfare YouTuber. Today we're going to be talking about Party Rose YT and Peanutbutter Ninja. Or, as I like to call them, the two most toxic people in the community that nobody really seems to be noticing. And finally you gave me the one thumbs up, Pat. Thank Christ. Anyways, so, yeah, that's a pretty good hat, but... Okay, headset, can you shut up? I know I'm charging my battery for my headset. Anyways, so... Not very many people ever seem to take notice of Peanutbutter Ninja or Party Rose YT, but I've always been one of those people that's always kept a close eye on, especially Peanutbutter Ninja, because I feel like he's saying a lot of things about Battle for Neighborville and PvZ as a whole that no one really A, cares about, but B, he feels as if PopCap actually cares about him and knows the kinds of content he produces. I'm pretty sure the only instance I can think of right now that PopCap has made an interaction with Peanutbutter Ninja was when he wasn't able to log on to any online Battle for Neighborville matches. That's the only instance that PopCap has ever given Peanutbutter Ninja any actual contact. I don't think they know all the bullcrap he's saying, and if they do, then they're just ignoring it. And rightfully so, since he's saying a whole ton of bullcrap. I've wanted to make a follow-up to the Peanutbutter Ninja rant for a while now, but before we talk about Peanutbutter Ninja, I want to talk about one of his followers, because, for the love of Christ, they, or he, or she, I'm not really sure. I think Party Rose YT is a he. I don't really care. He could be an attack helicopter for all I know. But Party Rose YT has been in some drama with the lower class people in the PvZ community, or just some people in the PvZ community. They make a lot of videos just basically saying, "Look at me, guys, I'm blocking someone! I'm really cool! A certain dominance here! I'm better than all of you!" Yeah, that's basically what she does, or he does. I'm just gonna call him he. That's basically what he does. It's just, this is the Party Rose YT meta. To get blocked by Party Rose, aka what they're most known for at this point, you have to, A, have a disagreement with her, or he, I don't know, okay? Why would you, it's confusing to name their actual gender, but anyways, I don't know why it's so confusing for me to do that. Why can I not just name someone's gender? But anyways, this is the simple 3-step plan to get blocked by Party Rose YT. Step 1, disagree with them. Step 2, Party Rose YT throws a hissy fit and blocks you. Step 3, they make a crappy video saying that they blocked you, that you really don't care about. That's basically what they do, like, most of the time. Like, they make some videos here and every now and again that's like, okay, it's just a YouTube video. And then, they're basically only known for blocking people in the PvZ community that disagree with them. A lot of people, have been in drama with them, and very stupid drama, mind you, because Party Rose YT has the mindset of a 6-year-old, and I'm 99% sure they could very well be a 6-year-old. In fact, I'm pretty sure a 6-year-old would be considered Albert Einstein in comparison to them. Now, Party Rose YT and or Peanutbutter Ninja, if you were watching this, I want you to take everything I'm saying in an actual criticism sense. Because what I'm saying for Party Rose YT is, don't be a whiner all the time and actually try and take into consideration what people are saying about you and go, maybe I'm a crappy person that no one really likes because I block everyone that disagrees with me. That's what you should think about. And I might as well talk about my own experience with Party Rose YT. This was around the same time when I was, when me and Peanutbutter Ninja were in a bit of drama. I was on the side that the scientist wasn't OP, either Chomper, neither of them are OP, so, just, that's a fact, okay? Well, okay, it may not be a fact, but there's a lot of evidence pointing towards it. I was on the side that Chomper and Scientist weren't OP, and that there were only a few things that could possibly be fixed with them. Peanutbutter Ninja was on the side of, PopCap, you need to know Chomper and Scientist! That's the side he was on. Now, Party Rose YT was also on Peanutbutter Ninja's side in this, and, I left a comment on one of their videos talking about how Scientist and Chomper are not OP, stop whining. I brought up a ton of evidence, and it felt like they didn't even read any of the comment, and we just got in the most retarded argument I have ever seen in my life. It was so retarded, I'm pretty sure I was close to banging my head against a wall replying to their replies. Eventually, she blocked me and deleted my comments, which I could care less about. It only gives me more ammunition to shoot back at you to prove that you're a toxic trash bag. They made a crappy video just telling their fan base they blocked them. I don't even think they even knew who I was. And that was that. Yeah, I also used my alternate account, Madeline Hawkins, to do it, since I didn't use this account, so, yeah, just keep that in mind. It probably doesn't even matter, since you probably can't even see the comments I made, because, she deleted them. Yeah, so that's Party Rose's side of the argument. Now we go on to Peanutbutter Ninja. With Battlefront Aberville coming out, there's been a lot of juicy things to talk about Peanutbutter Ninja. He said a lot of retarded things, and the main issue of the things that he is saying is he's trying way too hard to compare Garden Warfare 2 and Battlefront Aberville. He's just comparing Garden Warfare 2 and Battlefront Aberville so much. And I just want to say this. For any review that you do of a game, sequel or not, okay, maybe, you see, okay, I'll reword that. So let's say Garden Warfare 3 was a sequel to Garden Warfare 2. It kept the same variants, it kept the same characters, and it added on to gameplay. Everything a sequel should do. That would be fine in and of itself to try and compare it. But Battlefront Aberville is its own kind of property, I guess you could say. It's its own thing. It's not a Garden Warfare 3 like all those YouTubers are trying to lead you to believe. I see it as more of a spin-off game of the Garden Warfare franchise. Yes, it has the characters from it, like Pea-Shooter, Super Brains, all those characters. But it adds on new ones, and it changes the gameplay a whole lot to where it's its own thing and it's different. And I'm going to try and use this analogy with you. So, let's go into an alternate universe where Peanutbutter Ninja was paying attention to PvZ when it was a main tower defense franchise. And PvZ, Garden Warfare comes out after the release of PvZ 2. Peanutbutter Ninja looks at it and goes, where's all the tower defense elements? What is this? This game is totally different. What is this? I'm going to compare it to its predecessor. That's what he probably would have done. And same case with this. Why, yes, Battlefront Aberville is a shooter, and yes, it has some of the same characters. Those are probably the two only things that I can say are the same as what we got in Garden Warfare 2. Town Hall isn't here. The backyard was revamped into Giddy Park, which is basically, in my opinion, a better version of the backyard battleground since it's bigger. We got the XP, we got the the character points, or the upgrade point system, which was definitely not in Garden Warfare 2. We got four unique PvE regions, every one of those different from the last. We did have a story mode, or quote-unquote story mode in this game, but it pales in comparison to what Battle for Neighborville has. Not trying to compare the two games, but it was basically a straight upgrade. Yeah, it has an actual story mode, something entirely different from what we got in Garden Warfare 2, is probably what I should have said, since it was a bit hypocritical for me to say that. But yeah, four entirely different story mode missions that are actually story modes, new characters, the whole shebang. The game also has no variants, which is the main reason why people don't like it. The game has no variants, and here's what I say to that. Variants were a tricky concept to deal with in Garden Warfare 2. Peanutbutter Ninja can say, like, well, oh, PopCap just has to take in the time, and, you know, they just have to take in the time and effort to balance all the characters. No, Peanutbutter Ninja, they can't. They could not do that to save their lives in Garden Warfare 2. They had all the time in the world to balance all the characters. And yes, they did do the best job that they could. But with every patch came even more issues, even more bugs. Even more issues, even more bugs. You know, we got, one of the best examples of that is a character that went from great to not so great is Barbecue Corn. And a great example of a character that went from God tier, that went from decent to God tier to freaking trash, is Electro Citron. Variants as a whole were difficult to balance. 120 characters in a shooting game, and Peanutbutter Ninja may try and say that was the main selling point of Garden Warfare, but it really wasn't. The main selling point of the Garden Warfare franchise as a whole is to be a wacky shooter that does not take itself seriously. That's the whole point of the series. It's not like your Call of Duties or your Modern Warfares. It's like TF2, but even more silly, even more, eccentric. And I love TF2, by the way, but it's even more silly, even more eccentric. It was a fresh break from the shooters of the time, and that was the main talking point of Garden Warfare when it came out. Yeah, variants were also sprinkled in there as well as a unique touch, but still. And Peanutbutter Ninja is also trying to say, oh yeah, variety is the spice of life. There is still technically some variety in it, because of the point system. Now, I'm not going to try and sit here and say that the point system is perfect. In fact, I think at the moment, it's pretty far from perfect. Most of the upgrades that you get when your characters only recruit, you will just remove as you get better upgrades. And most of the upgrades, like, let's say you put Refreshing Revive onto Chomper, putting an upgrade onto your characters that, supports reviving people on a character that's main purpose isn't to revive people. That would be a character that would be better on Sunflower, not Chomper. But that's one of the main upgrades that you get before you get any other ones for your characters. I think there are some characters in the recruit stages that do have upgrades that mainly benefit their playstyle, like Pea Shooter's critical, like, there's an upgrade for Pea Shooter, I think, that you can equip right as you get him. Not get him, but like right as you start to play him, which is something about critical vanquishes. Basically, if you get a critical vanquish, which is just for Pea Shooter is just any body shot. If you get a critical vanquish, your refresh time for your abilities speeds up. And I also kind of want to say that the perk system is really less. Sometimes perks, you can't really notice them all that much. Some perks, you can definitely notice the difference, but it never makes it a whole new character. And that's some of the downsides with the perk system. But I think if they execute perks correctly, which they could very well do, since in the most recent patch they did make an update to one of Nightcap's perks, so they are still updating perks, and they could even add in more as the game goes on. If they start to fix them and tweak them a bit, then yeah, they could very well be as good as the variants. I don't think as better, but it could definitely still add in variety to this game. And they're also gonna probably take the Overwatch route with this game. Don't say that. Just because PopCap is gonna take some, is gonna take a concept from Overwatch, of adding in more and more characters as the game goes on, does not mean it's gonna fail all because they're doing something that Overwatch did. That's one very minuscule thing, Peanutbutter Ninja. Don't try and act like if they do that, then the game's gonna fail, cause it ain't. So stop trying to be one of those whiny, well, not SJWs, because that's the main, target demographic of Overwatch, but don't be one of those whiny children, one of those whiny COD players that thinks that Overwatch is the trash of the gaming industry. Just because PopCap's going to do something similar to what Overwatch did is not going to make it terrible. So just shut your mouths. There's already been coding in the game found of a new character class, the Wizard Zombie, and that was found, I think, before Lawn of Doom even came out, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that means we're probably going to get that Wizard Zombie at some point, and we could get even more characters every single, DLC pack or something. And I think with that, I'm going to leave off the video here. I really hope that if Party Rose and or Peanutbutter Ninja see this video, they respond to it in a style that doesn't make me want to bang my head against the wall. And also, before I leave, I just want to say this. Peanutbutter Ninja, I saw your most recent stream. You were saying that you didn't notice anything different with Rose at all, and you want to know why that is? It's because you're